Welcome to Daily Plunge. We are in the book of Esther, chapter 8, verses 1 through 17, where Haman, the enemy of God's people, had expected to get himself rich by seizing the property of the Jews he had killed. Now that has been overturned, and his estate goes to Esther, of which Mordecai is going to oversee. And Haman's signet ring, which is an extension of the king's authority, that now is given to Mordecai. But the trouble's not over. And Esther, the queen, she falls at the feet of her king. She's weeping and begging. She pleads that he would overturn, that he would end the evil plan that Haman, this Amalekite, this hater of Israel, would be overturned, because his scheme is to wipe out the Jews, and it's still in the books. And so she says, if I please the king, if he regards me with favor, and if this idea pleases the king and he thinks it's the right thing to do, then perhaps you would write an order overruling Haman's dispatches. Now, they have a signet ring on it, but not the king's, but it's needed because you can't just revoke a law under their system. And she says, how can I endure, if my family is killed? And the king, he's come to have a new relationship with Esther over this past week. And so now he sees her in a much different light. And he doesn't want to see the destruction of her people. And really what Esther is doing is letting him, the king, be the hero to save her people. She's giving him that opportunity. He's happy to oblige. And what we see are the consequences of hatred against God, against God's people. But because Haman attacked the Jews, now Haman is impaled. His estate is turned, taken away from him. And now this new decree is sent to all the leaders, the satraps and others, and it's also sent to the Jews. And this new order is sent in the language of the people of every province. And it's sealed with the king's authority, with his signet ring, right? And it's written on behalf of the Jews. And what does this new decree say? Well, basically, that the Jews can assemble together for their own self-defense, right? They are granted the right of self-defense, or in American parlance, you would say they've been given the Second Amendment so they can protect themselves. And so they do, and no one wants to mess with them. There's the sort of the fear of the Jews comes on everybody. And Mordecai now has been elevated. He has taken Haman's role, and he's decked out in royal colors, and he has the signet ring. And people are pleased because Mordecai is not like the vicious Haman. Because Haman wasn't just vicious to the Jews, he was vicious to all kinds of people. But Mordecai is a more understanding leader. And it says that many people just said that they were Jews because of the fear of what was going on with the Jews. But I think about, do people fear the people of faith? Absolutely, these days. They are afraid of the values of the kingdom of God. They are afraid of Christians, describing them in various ways. They're afraid of both the law and the gospel, and we are the bearers of that. So how do we work through that as God's people? Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.